Here's a short summary of the kind of the tools that you're going to need. We're going to have to take the wheel off, obviously. So we got a couple tools here. We have a lug wrench. This is an X-shaped lug wrench with multiple sizes for different types of lugs. This right here, this is a short lug wrench that you might find in your car. If you have one of these, I would highly recommend getting one of these pipes or something to fit over your lug wrench. That way you can have more leverage, because you will come across a lug nut that cannot be taken off, and this will take it off, I promise you. Another thing you'll need is something to raise the car up. So here's a couple jack stands. This is one that I got from Harbor Freight. I highly recommend Harbor Freight for their floor jacks if you're a DIYer. They're cheap and they're very reliable. This is a little small one that you can keep in your trunk. I have a little larger one here that I keep at the house. And this other one here is usually what you find in your vehicle. It's like a little scissor floor jack. And I'll show you how to operate that one just in case you're on the highway or this is all you got. But these will work just fine as well. Also, highly recommended, if not mandatory, please get some jack stands. If you're going to raise your car up with a floor jack, don't trust your life on one of these. I'm sure they'll work probably every time you use it, but it only takes one time for something catastrophic to happen. Either you being seriously injured or death. So please use a jack stand when you're using these jack stands, please, or anything to lift your car up. All right, as you can see, the tire still has air in it. We did put air in our last video, so it's not flat, but it does have a nail in it. And we will take the tire off, and I'll show you where the nail is at, because I'll show you where it's leaking and how to check for leaks. First thing before we take the tire off is that we're going to go inside the vehicle. And first thing you do is put your parking brake on all the way. That keeps your rear tires from moving and keeps the car from moving forward, just in case something were to happen. Next thing you do, we're going to put some blocks on the front tires as a backup so the car won't move forward. Just get yourself a couple pieces of wood. Put one on this side of the tire and put one on that side of the tire on the front. All right, if your car has a hubcap, this one just snaps right on. Just pull it right toward you and it'll come right off. That's it. You saw that my floor jack, it didn't have the handle on it. I'm gonna show you how to put the handle on. Just take it, put it right here in a little slot until it drops down, and there's a little set screw right here, okay? Just turn that till it's tight, and there it is, ready to go. All right, guys, we already took the hubcap off. Let's go ahead and raise the car up. I have the floor jack right underneath the car, and I'm gonna show you where to place it. Right here underneath the car, most vehicles have this lip right here. It's called a pinch weld. It's about an 1/8 inch thick piece of steel. Runs all the way the length of the vehicle, and you can put your jack anywhere in this part here, okay, and you'll be just fine. So when you're trying to put a floor jack underneath the vehicle, what you're feeling for, you don't have to get all the way on the ground, but you can just feel for this lip and you'll know you're in that area. Now that we got our floor jack underneath the vehicle and we're kind of eyeballing where the little pad of the floor jack will rest above the car, we can start lifting the jack up. So once you have your pole in here, this thing operates by turning it. You can either turn it to the left to loosen it, to let it go all the way down, or you can turn it to the right all the way, and so we can lift. And I'll show you that. Right now it's all the way to the right, and you just go up and down with it, and it'll rise up. And now I'll give you a closer look. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and start lifting the car up, and you'll see where it lands, right on that pinch wheel. Just lift it up enough where the wheel is off the ground and you can get a jack stand underneath the vehicle. All right, guys, we got the vehicle lifted off the ground. Let's go ahead and put the jack stand underneath. So slide it underneath the vehicle. Try to line up the pinch wheel with the middle of this indentation right here. Lift it up as high as this will go. And then what you do is that next thing you do is you will lower the jack stand ever so slightly by turning it to the left. Just a little bit, okay? right there. Just so it rests on the jack stand. Then you can kind of raise the jack up just a little bit, just to give it some support. And right now, the vehicle is resting on the jack stand. It's not going anywhere. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take this tire off so we can plug it up. I'm gonna use the two tools that I brought up in the beginning of the video. The little small lug wrench and with the pipe, and the X-shaped one. Make sure you choose the right size. These are different sizes, so if you choose one that's a little bit bigger than the lug itself, it's going to be too much play, and if you use the wrong one, you're going to end up what they call stripping these lug nuts. Right now they're a hex shape and they have little sharp corners on the end, so if you round them off, it's going to be very difficult to take this off without a special tool, or without either a special tool or a lot of cuss words. So make sure you choose the right size. So this one here is the right size. You put it on and there's very little play. Very little play. The other ones, this one's too small. That's one, it's okay, but there's still a lot of play. You'll strip it. So make sure you choose the right one. Too small, this one's just right. That one's right there. So that's what you want. So get in a standing position. Use both hands and go to the left. Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty, and it comes right off. And with this one, it's pretty cool because once you loosen it up, you can kind of just spin it, and the little nut will come right off, just like that. I'll show you how to use this tool. You can use it by itself. Put it on, and then go to the left. It's a little bit tight. Some of them might be tight, but it will come off. There you go. And here's another tip. If you see, in the past I have marked these because some of these nuts have become, I guess, a little stripped. The threads have become stripped a little bit and disfigured. So I numbered them so that way I know what order to put them in, and then I'll place them on the ground in the correct order. Like, say number 3 is up there, I'll put 3 here. Next one was number 2, so I'll put number 2 here, and then so on. There'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way I can put them back in the right spot. So now I'm going to use the small lug wrench with the pipe, just in case. Let's imagine this bolt this nut is too tight to get off. You can't take it off with this. Use this pipe, go over it, and this will give you all the leverage. This is so easy right there. You'll take it off with no problem at all. So I highly recommend that. You could even use it as a weapon. Someone tries to jack you. If the tire feels like it's not going to come off, sometimes it feels like it's stuck. Like, man, come on, I got all the bolts off, but it's not doing anything. Just give it a kick, and it'll come right off.